What's up, everybody? This is Sean Ferrer with the Culture of the Woke Republican. Ready to get on another new tip of news. Things that I've witnessed. I've been working 2 jobs, so really tired. I can tell that, you know what I mean, I'm definitely strained. But you know what? I've already told you that facts don't care about your feelings. So therefore, let's get right into it. Okay, this is going to be a short video. I'm going to give you guys, you know what I mean, the things that I've actually witnessed, or, like, not so much witnessed, I mean, probably on the news, or what I would consider conservative news, because from what I've noticed, they're the only ones that aren't biased, and they just basically, like, tell the truth. But, you know, that being said, I'm like, you know, there's just so much in the media right now, and in politics, that, like, I don't even know if I have enough wind to actually get through, like, an entire hour with you guys of actually, like, doing this. But, you know what, without further ado, let's go right into the left. Okay, so Daunte Wright, a police victim. I call him a victim on the idea that the police officer made a mistake and shot Daunte Wright. It was a tragic death. Do I believe that Daunte Wright should be dead? No. I believe that that police officer was a 26-year veteran, and, you know, she thought she pulled her taser. Even after on the body cam footage, it's like, taser, taser, taser. And she pulls a weapon. Well, she really thought, I guess, you know, accidentally, she thought that she was pulling the right weapon. Apparently not. Do I believe that she should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law? Yes. Now, the full extent of the law for her would be involuntary manslaughter. She'll do about, like, I don't know, like 5 years, I think. I don't know, all depending on the state. So, you know, that being said, I do not agree with the officer's decision to pull her weapon and fire. That is, it even says in the video, like, you can hear her go, oh my God, I just shot him. So, I mean, if that's not a case for the courts, I don't know what is. But at the same time, what I really want to talk about Daunte Wright was the left came out, Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, and who else was it? Al Sharpton, one of the biggest race baiters in all history. Man probably owes more money in taxes than anybody you know. Like, anybody you know, even in the mainstream media, even in history, he owes that much in taxes. But apparently, you know what? We can't touch Al Sharpton. But anyway, okay, Al Sharpton comes out. I'll get to Ilhan Omar here in a minute. Okay, but Al Sharpton comes out. And normally, Al Sharpton, you know, because he's basically a racist. I have no idea, I have no other way to actually call him. He's a racist. He hates white people. Okay, it doesn't matter if the white person actually caters to his cause, or actually, you know what I mean, like, you know, feels the diversity or anything of that nature. Okay, he's a racist. Okay, and it's sad because we actually can't call the other side racist. I do, because I don't care. I'm not worried. What are you gonna do? You're gonna come shoot me? Please. Over some silly statements that I've made online? Please. I'm not concerned. Either way, the point that I'm getting at is Al Sharpton comes out to Daunte Wright's funeral. And normally Al Sharpton is very well known to give, like, these heartfelt eulogies that he does to basically black criminals that the left has idolized. But instead, because apparently, because of Daunte Wright's criminal record, he didn't really have a whole lot of really nice things to say about Daunte Wright, other than the fact that, yes, he was murdered illegitimately. He should have been murdered. The police officer should have had her wits about her. She was a 26-year veteran. She was training another officer. That's what I'm saying is, yes, she messed up. You know, that's just the way it is. She messed up. Okay, yes, it's tragic that he's dead. But at the same time, I mean, the left is trying to idolize this man. Or, actually, wasn't even a man. He was still an adolescent. But they're trying to idolize him as he is a guardian angel. When literally he was arrested in 2019. That's the reason why he had the warrant for his arrest. That's the reason why the police immediately tried to pull him out of the car. Or any of that nature. But the whole reason is because he pulled a gun on another woman that had just gotten her, her rent money from her roommate, and put it in her bra. So this man that spent the night at her house decides that in the morning he pulls the gun on her, wraps his arm around her, starts to choke her, trying to take the money out of her bra. So it's like one of those things where I'm like sitting going, how is this accepted? Like, how is this idolized? So Daunte Wright is now going to go on in leftist history as he is like the great giant of the pillar of life. You know, he's going to be an angel. He's going to, you know what I mean? He's going to live on into eternity and this and that. Why are we idolizing criminals? I have to know this. Like, I'm serious. This is like a serious question. So if you can answer me in the comments, please do. Why are we idolizing criminals? I mean, I understand that the leftist view is the idea that, you know what, we're idolizing these criminals because of the color of their skin. That's what the left has done for decades. That's what they do. They idolize someone for the color of the skin. The reason why is because it actually gets them votes later in the year. That's the way it works. And sadly enough, for my friends with a darker skin tone than I do, please wake up. See what's going on. Republicans are not all bad. Like, we actually care for people. Like, we value church. We value culture. We value things that are actually gonna like better us all. It's called being a conservative. You're conserving serious values. Like, things and ideologies that you can think of on a regular basis. That's what we're doing. That's what it means to be a conservative. You know, you can take the leftist view on conservatives, where last time I checked, we're racist, homophobe, bigots, and there was something else. But we're not like that. We actually want to help. It's just the idea that you guys don't give us an avenue. So, I mean, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to march out and riot? No, it's not our way. We don't do that. Now, that being said, let me get on to my second topic. Now, I'm going to actually ad-lib a lot of this because I've heard a lot of new broadcasts on this. I've heard about, you know, all the facts, and I've seen the body cam footage from 3 different angles. Okay, but I am going to take on the idea of how the left and the left side media is reporting this. Like, literally, ABC News completely cut out, like they edited a completely like literally the actual footage from the body cam to show that Ma'Khia Bryant, okay, they edited out every aspect that she actually had a knife. The only thing they reported was there was a knife on the ground at the scene. This is going way beyond, like, oh yeah, no, you know what, maybe I reported the wrong story or something like that. No, this is going way beyond that. Like, we are way beyond that. Okay, all I'm saying is, look, I'm not a journalist, okay? I consider myself, I guess, a political commentator. How about that? I'll take that role. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where I'm like sitting back going, I mean, where are we going with this? I mean, how far is it really going to go? Is it going to go to the point where we're going to have to, like, literally, like, just curb our speech in the streets? So, from what I've noticed, you know, one side can say whatever they want, but you know what? If you say anything because you were born white, you're screwed. Your whole career can be taken away from you, like everything, like your riches, everything. Everything you work for can be taken away just like that. How does that work? I'm just saying. I'm wondering. You know, I know that the people that may actually watch this podcast know too. They're wondering too. You guys are. You guys are actually wondering the same way that I am. How far is this going to go? I mean, first of all, in all the body cam footage, Ma'Khia Bryant, at 16 years old, unfortunately, was shot to death by 4 shots by an officer in Columbus, Ohio. That is the actual truth. Now, the statistics for the shooting is, if you watch the body cam footage and then you watch the other cam footage that was taken by the neighbor across the street, yeah, she was basically in a fit of rage. The police officer that shows up, unfortunately, like 23 years old, his father had, you know, a career in law enforcement. He tried to follow this and that, whatever. Very unfortunate for him. Situation that he now he has to live with. You know, nobody actually ever takes into consideration of that because everybody hates the police now. Okay, but did you ever take into consideration of what that officer now has to live with? That he actually had to put a 16-year-old girl down? Doesn't matter what her color was. A 16-year-old girl he had to put down because she was threatening, screaming, and stabbing at other women, other girls, her own age, other girls. He had to prevent the loss of life by taking a life. That in itself just makes you go, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, to that officer, good job. Because in that footage that I saw, she was not only trying to stab one woman, she was trying to stab 2. So say the officer didn't react because of all the racial tension that's going on. It's a white officer, black girl. Okay? You know, all the racial tension in the United States right now. Say the officer decided not to react. So he allowed, and he could actually be brought up on charges for this too, but he allowed this black girl to stab 2 other black girls. How is this right? Once again, I'll express it to you guys. How is this right? You know what? Ask me in the comments. I want, or answer me. I want to know. How does that work? It doesn't work. Because the narrative always has to be pushed by the left. This is always racism. This is a white cop shooting down a black girl. Immediately, the media jumped all over this. It was reported, and matter of fact, there are people actually making retractable statements and they're apologizing to this police officer because he can actually sue them with slander. But, so, that in itself is like, that's the reason why the Columbus police actually released the body cam footage like astronomically fast. Normally, police officers, they, from what I've gathered from research, is they get back with their body cam footage. It's always a film that they pull out, and they hand it in on a daily basis, especially if there was an incident. And this officer, and normally that would take like 2 or 3 days to get it all like worked around and this and that. Because I mean, think about it. That body cam is on 8 to 10 hours a day. And guess what? I'm sure that I'm probably going to see his steering wheel a lot of the time. But they got that out in I think it was 8 hours after the incident. That in itself should just make you go, First of all, one point, I wonder how fast body cam footage can actually be put out. Apparently, a lot faster than we were led to believe. Second, the body cam footage actually shows that the officer was justified. So why is it being called racism? It was a black on black crime. A white officer showed up, saw a black girl trying to stab another black girl, and then she didn't get to stab that one. She went to go stab another one. Okay, now this officer, if you watch the body cam footage, had 9 seconds. 9 seconds to react. From the time he literally got out of his car, ran over, tried to separate the two. One of them falls on the ground. That's the first victim, or almost victim. And then she runs over to a woman that's in hot pink outfit. I don't know what the hell's going on there. And then screams out, "I'm gonna stab, bleep, bleep, this woman." And goes in a stabbing motion. The officer fires 4 shots. If this is not a justified police shooting and not race, I don't know what is. I mean, the left is trying to make this into a PR campaign. This just solidifies our aspect of the police force in the United States and this and that. No, I believe that this man reacted to a deadly situation. Unfortunately, there was a loss of life. But at the same time, from what I gathered, Ma'Khia, she was planning on committing a loss of life as well. So, that being said, I'm not going to take sides. But at the same time, I can definitely see what's right and what's wrong. And my hat is off to that officer. He saved 2 lives that day. Unfortunately, by taking 1, but he saved 2 lives that day. So my hat's off to him. Good job. Thank you for your service. Now, my third point for the day, and I'm actually going to continue this. Normally, I take a break. Matter of fact, you know what? We are going to take a break. You want to know why? Because I guarantee that anybody that's watching me right now, you have to pee too. So, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Give me 1 sec. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sean Ferrer once again, culturally woke Republican. I do have one more subject, and then something I'm going to go into a little surprise for you. But I gotta know, okay? And you can leave it in the comments yourself. Who really wants to wear a mask? Okay, I mean, literally, I'd have to say no, I think it's half. I think it's half the country at this point is vaccinated. Okay, the state of Florida has been open this whole time. I actually personally have lupus. Okay, that means I have an autoimmune deficiency disease. If I get sick, I get really sick. Okay, I've never caught it. And I've been around people in my household that had it. Alright, you know what? I digress. That being said, okay, a woman in Georgia, as far as I'm concerned, this woman is, like, I want to marry her. Okay, her name is Courtney Ann Taylor. She actually went on a specific political floor and basically like made a specific speech about just masks. And what her point was masks on children. Now, let's go on the CDC, let's go on statistics, because like I said, facts don't care about your feelings. I want to know the facts. If you go by the statistics of this virus, I hate calling it a disease. It's not a disease. It's a virus. Okay, it's like the flu. Just a lot more catchy. Okay, it's not a disease. A disease is something that, like, most of the time is not curable. And it stays with you. I took molecular biology in college. Trust me, I'm really good at this. Okay, but with this virus, we've already figured out, okay, the people that are most susceptible to this virus are people above 60 and obese people, especially. Okay, people in their 20s, you guys are doing fine. Children at 5, 6 years old, you guys are going to be great. Don't worry about it. It's going to be nothing for you. Okay, yes, I will acknowledge, yes, there has been some child deaths in this country, but there are 330 million people in this country. I hate to sound cold, but yes, it's sad to hear that there was 6 child deaths out of 330 million. Those are really good numbers. Yes, I understand there's been 500,000 people in this country that have died. Over 500,000. But weren't we led to believe that, like, while the death toll was rising, you know, like, this is all Trump's fault, right? But now, like, and you guys don't know this, because, like, when Trump left office, there was like 300 and something thousand people dead, or whatever it was. Well, now it's over 500 and something thousand. Why isn't Biden being called out for this? Nobody ever thinks about that. Like, nobody ever sees that. But anyway, this woman, like I said, she's my hero. She came out on a floor and said, you know, basically, like, what is wrong with you people? You're making 5 and 6-year-olds wear a mask on their face that literally, there's actually a document posted in the, World Health Organization. If you go on their website, you can find this, okay, that literally states a study that wearing the mask on your face is actually bad for you. Like, you could actually hurt yourself worse than the virus. Now, that itself just kind of makes you go, really? And all I'm doing is following the science. There's actually a study. I heard it on Michael Knowles today. I actually don't know the name of the study or what university or what organization that actually did it, but it was posted on the World Health Organization's, the WHO website. So this is an actual study. So why are we still wearing the mask? Why are we still doing it? You don't think that this is a form of control? Now that the Democrats have the Senate and the House, and they have the presidency, all Joe Biden's job is just to be that puppet that pushes through all of the leftist agenda. That's his job. It's going to be tremendous spending. He's going to, he's already devaluated the dollar. I mean, that's already started, but it can get worse. And what's sad about it is, I actually think back, and this was my other point that I wanted to get to, but I actually think back and go, you know who I'm really worried about? Not me. Yeah, I'll die paying Joe Biden's friggin' taxes. Unless, hopefully, Donald Trump wins in 2024. But, it's just the idea that I think about my son. You know, right around the idea of when Joe Biden's tax increases are really going to start to hit his class. My son is going to be at what you would consider working age. And he's going to be out there trying to find a job. And guess what? The economy is just going to be shot. And he's going to have a rough go of it. And I was really planning on kicking him out of my house when he turned 18. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought about it. Because I think about a lot of things. But that being said, it's just one of those things where I really hope, you know, the people that actually watch this program and, you know, think of me as maybe somebody that actually, like, I don't know, has some uplifting thought, something that, you know, maybe isn't the norm. I hope that you learn something. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can think about it. That's the only reason why I do this. I don't get paid for this. I work 2 jobs. And I do this. And I have a girlfriend. And she doesn't live with me. She lives in another state. So, that in itself just makes you go, how boring his life must be. But that being said, I actually do this for you guys. I want you guys to know that, you know, this is what I got. But I did want to talk about culture for 1 minute. Like, literally, I'm watching the timer right now. 1 minute. Culture. And I wanted to express it with a question. What do you feel the culture of the United States is actually expressing? I'm serious. I want to know. From every one of my subscribers, everyone that, you know, gets a notification and stuff, I want to know what you think the culture of the United States is actually expressing now. Compared to what it was when you were a teenager or younger, you know, this and that. Even if you're a young person that actually, like, I want to hear your answer. Because I think it's important. We need to, you know, as conservative Republicans, we need to take the culture back. There are people out there right now that are trying to express culture in our lives. And nobody's listening. And I think they need to really start listening. I listen. And I hope you're listening to me. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend. I have to work all weekend. But you guys have a great weekend. And, you know, Godspeed. I love you guys. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like me. Notification, stupid little bell, whatever. You know, I think you guys are great, and I'll keep doing this as long as they let me. Talk to you then. Bye.